Hi, this is Elton Malabanan with ID number K230395, and this video is about what I've learned this week and how can I link this skill to my software engineering project. So the first thing that I learned this week is about the software development methodologies, which are mentioned by the lecturer. First one is the traditional processes, which really cannot be changed, and it's focused more on documentation rather than coding. Next one is the agile methodologies, which has the characteristics of short release and iterations, incremental design, the user involvement, minimal documentation, informal communication, and change. About the agile methodologies, it has family set rules that are both code values and code principles. Also, it was focused on changing what is changing more than the documentation itself. It focuses on flexibility since requirements are constantly changing, and things like informal communication, collaborations, customer satisfaction are also valued by the agile methodologies and was mentioned by the lecturer. Lastly, the lecturer mentioned that characteristics of agile can be modules and not upfront, and also mentioned that starting small and then continue to build it up sooner will be helpful for the agile methodologies. Also, another software development methodologies mentioned by the lecturer is about the extreme programming, which is the first one developed by Beck. Also the crystal clear methodology, and then Scrum, which is currently the popular one, the RUP, the Kanban method, or the Japanese for visual board. So how can I link this skill to my software engineering project? So I think that software development methodologies can be linked to my software engineering project by showing how the methodology guides each phase of my project, and it influences the decision, deliverables, and workflow. For example, it identifies the methodology I chose or I'm gonna choose. So it's for example, it states the methodology clearly and briefly explain why my project fits it. Example is we use, for example, the Agile Scrum because our project requirements evolve over time and we needed flexibility and frequent feedback. Also, it maps the methodology to each of my project. For example, if I use a lot of methodologies like Agile Scrum or whatever we're gonna tackle in the future. And also it shows how the methodology influence the deliverables. It connects the project or the documents to the methodology. For example, the Scrum, the project deliverables I might mention is the product backlog, sprint backlog, bar-down charts, something like that. Fourth one is describe how the methodology affected teamwork. It explains how the methodology helps structure communications, roles, and decision makings. And lastly, it shows how the methodology shaped the final outcome. It explains how using the methodology affect quality, speed, flexibility, or risk. Thank you.